battle-tested, and FlyQuest Atmos is probably the most battle-tested we've seen. They were in the grand finals of the MRI. All the stakes on the line, came in second there. This is going to be for 5th and 6th, and none of these teams, both these teams are thinking and are too great for that. So they want to make sure that they advance. We've got Magnus, who just put up the fight of fights against 100 Thieves. Now, FlyQuest immediately going in on the offense, banning Groot, which is showing respect as it should against Chuckles, and Wolverine being banned from the Magnets.
Yeah, the Wolverine ban will just be a constant. I'm surprised we got it through. We even got to see it for like 5 seconds in that last fight, but not going to be the main staple here. Really like some of that reservation, or at least, respect given over to Chuckles on that group. But now we get the protect of the Bucky, so we know where these teams are heading, at least for the carry comp.
Yeah, and if you're just coming in now, Smash, controller player, DPS, one of the best I've seen, and he has played Winter Soldier and Hela. Tico was playing, though, Winter Soldier beforehand, so they have 2 people that can play that role elite. But oh my, we get the save from the Atom. That's because we know Light loves to play Star-Lord, love watching FlyQuest, one of my favorite teams to spectate often here, as we've got 2 great tanks in Gasklin, and of course, one and only Spark Chief. Cooper Task, an amazing support to keep your eyes on as well.
I called Spark Chief and Gasklin the bodyguards of the multiverse last time around. I think that's a due nickname for them, because they are the linchpins that this team has really been built on in terms of the strategies that they bring. I do love to see the duality of that kind of full tank setup a lot of the time, but with that dive, we get the actual ban of the Doctor Strange here, as well as the Star-Lord. So triple res comp, maybe a little bit hindered.
Yeah, so they did their homework, right? They knew that they like to play the triple Vanguards. We saw a lot of that from Magnets early, so to take out Strange from that is going to definitely help them out. And you can see it's now forced them to the 2-2-2. Okay, so Light on Iron Fist. You might be thinking, okay, so is he just kind of having some fun here? No, we saw him play this briefly in the grand finals. Light loves to play that and is definitely something he does flex to. Looks like, though, he's just showcasing he wants to. May not end up going that way, though. But Spark Chief over here on the thing, we saw him flex into that. And Gasklin, one of the best Vanguards with ultimates that I've seen.
If you're looking at all those missed dunks earlier in the day, well, if you want to look at somebody who's going to be hitting every single one of them, it's Gasklin. But I also have to say Cyber was having some really good cleanup Magneto meteors there in the end of their series. So this is what I'm super excited about. There's a ton of stakes on the line for both these 2 teams. FlyQuest, obviously that very well-known organization coming into this one and still being in this lower bracket run. Les Aimants feeling like they come out of nowhere, but giving a run to the money of a ton of the top teams on the table.
Light does not play Hela either, so this is going to be insane, because Smash being able to resurrect the Loki over and over, look for that. Light is going to go into the Iron Fist, going to put a lot of pressure on Hela early, and this is going to be tough, because again, Smash is an amazing Hela, and to not have kind of the answer to that 1v1 we've been watching, the Duel of Fates, is going to be difficult for them to live up to.
It really is. We're going to see that initial push onto the point here as well. Really good space coverage by FlyQuest. Les Aimants trying to use this second tier right now to get an advantage. That high ground we talked so much about, but here they go. They're dropping into the fight pit as well. Light trying to get some decent damage in early. Gasklin already getting very close to his ultimate here, at least halfway over the point now. And the right clicks from Doom. Chuckles making it known that the thing is the difference maker early on into this one.
Look at Energy, who does play Hela, play Mantis, and take down Smash. You love to see that, right? As he continues, and my eyes have been glued to Light, just popping all around the map here, showing what he can do on Iron Fist. But Nico with the really clutch pick on Energy that we just saw has a massive impact in this game. But there it is, the Adam Warlock. Resin Energy and doesn't have to wait for the team fight, so they're able to keep the aggression on as Tico now eliminates Energy yet again.
Yeah, that's 2 times the charm, I guess. And here comes the Kraken impact around the corner, defensive, trying to get away from these resets here. But I feel like Tico might just be going to town now as well. Spark Chief trying to get back over on the point, use his body to separate the rest of Les Aimants off of the point. But the fate of both worlds is coming through here, and it's a dance party going in the favor of blue as now they try to get Spark Chief caught up with the rest of a Meteor Imp. Did end up going through from Gaston, but he didn't get anybody. And this is chaos, Cozy.
Absolute chaos as they continue to fight grit for grit. Magnets with the favor with 22% on it. I mean, no one is getting eliminated. If they are, they can come back, but there it is. Energy taking out Tico. Spark Chief with a nice trade there, and this is able now to give some advantage over to FlyQuest, and we know how difficult it is to get this point right back. It's going to make it an even fight.
I feel like we didn't even leave from last weekend when we were watching FlyQuest. This Spark Chief thing has been a monster. And a rocket stone there, he makes it happen yet again. Now Light looking for these angles on the uptick, but the big thing you have to think about, Les Aimants, they're gonna have a really nice pressure here. Smash getting very close to his, Jabori getting close to his ultimate.
It's the Animal Planet. Look at Light just stalking his prey here, ready to come and rain down quickly. Tico's going to try to get some form of a grab that could make the impact here. Maybe trying to get gassed, and if he pokes out too far here, looking up Smash, we know he's the queen of angles, the king at the controller as he continues to go for Koopatastic.
Here it
He
goes.
can maybe get the pick, unable though to do so, but has the goddess of death and takes down Energy.
Oh, he got energy there, but now kicks off the real fight. Is he going to use the Goddess of Death to pick more off? He's got a double KO here as well. Maybe even looking for a third. Light is forced off the point, and that's 4 down. Make it 5 there as the resets are coming through from FlyQuest. The defense and the take is there for Les Aimants.
Yeah, great job there. I mean, Koopatastic was able to stay alive, but unfortunately, Smash, you give him too much time, he is going to get the connection. We've seen that play, and he did it just there. Now, he does have they have the Kraken impact. They almost have to set up with Clobber in time, as well as the Meteor. So look for Magnets here to use the Wombo combo to get the job done, but Gaskin also has an answer of his own.
Fate of both worlds is teed up here. Les Aimants are going to have a lot in their fashion. Energy getting close to his. That's a massive difference maker here as well. But Light needs to find backline access. Chuckle is getting put out here as the fights come down. There goes the Ruins. A KO coming through from Jabori. Now Spark Chief trying to refine his angle, trying to refine his front line as we are getting ultimates. And that's Clobber in time. Is Clancy going to come out on top here? Couple right clicks to the body here, but nothing else. And the Fate of both worlds gets him one here too, as they have that sustained damage. Now FlyQuest trying to survive on the point, but we're getting dicey. 90% done by Les Aimants, and Tico wants to get some resets. That arm is pumped, and it's got some work in the shop, looking chrome as ever.
Absolute sensational job, and right now they're just unable to get some separation, get the eliminations. Light is being hard countered from the thing. It's just a tough job to get the job done as Smash comes from the back here, throwing in the thorns and eliminating Spark Chief one by one. Born again though, keeping them up. Zealous has played great, but it doesn't matter. The Goddess of Death is going to ensure that they're dead as he just continues to throw thorn after thorn.
This team, man, they just find a way to stick in the fight. We're starting to lose some health here on the side of FlyQuest. We're starting to lose some pressure on the point. That overtime, it's going to start kicking here as well. A couple headshots and Energy able to clean up a double here, but he's going to get taken down as well. Now you have to get FlyQuest on the point. The overtime, it's coming down. It's going to be close, 99% and right there. But here comes FlyQuest redemption.
Wow, the two-piece from Energy to set this up with just a tick left on the point. You gotta love the fight and the heart there from Energy to give the team the energy they need to move forward. Light's still on that Iron Fist. We've yet to see that come into play, but they're gonna stick with what they know, stick with what they have. They had to use a lot there to stay alive. They do have the Fate of both worlds with Koopatastic, but that's not gonna help us. Zealous, that's already gone and eliminated. Does he have a passive to come back? I don't think so. This will be your full reset.
Supertastic has the Fate of both worlds, but trying to reserve that for a key moment. He's the only one with an ultimate up. Does not want to have to pull the trigger too early. The pull comes down. He has to pull it. He's in there like swimwear, baby. And we're going into the pool diving as they do have that dance party going. It's going to take some time for it to fall, but maybe just that grittiness from Les Aimants is going to be enough to hold on. Spark Chief is down. The bodyguards of the multiverse are falling apart here. And it's Les Aimants who are coming up clutch.
Absolutely here. Now we have Chuckles trying to finish the job on Gaskin. Gaskin staying alive. Great work there from the Adam Warlock. The instantaneous healing, but it's not enough. Energy, though, showing that heart once again. Eliminates Smash. Cyber, though, taking down Zelos. It's ticking. It's ticking. And time is going to fall short as they get the first point. Magnets with a very competitive, close fight there from both teams.
Man, that's the hype stuff we love to see. I mean, both teams obviously fighting very hard. It was a little bit one-sided in the at least point differential there, but you could tell that FlyQuest knew they had a little crack in the armor to try to get up under. And now Les Aimants, they will be up one map at least in this one to try to go 1-0 up in the series.
I respect it. I'm not crazy about the Iron Fist here. It's very hard to play Iron Fist effectively against the thing, but you know what? In domination, I do like it. And they're at that moment. I'm sure you get this in your games too. You're at 96% to ult, and you're like, do I switch? I can't. I have my ultimate ready to go. The impact that can make on this first point. Got to stay with what we know here. But yeah, as I've alluded to, Smash having that res for Loki, and at the very least, the constant healing from what we know is going to be a plethora, a buffet of Smash eliminations helps keep everybody alive without the healers having to focus on each other.
Exactly that. And now we're coming into this second point with some ultimates to spare for Les Aimants. Trying to get Spark Chief in there with his clobber in time, maybe offsets that a little bit, but you really got to buy time. For me, I have to put a spotlight on Light. I know you talked about him a little bit. This Iron Fist is massive, but Light himself has been the key carry for FlyQuest in a lot of situations when their backs are against the wall, and need to see that pulled out now.
Yeah, absolutely. Here as Light is going to do just that. The Dragon Fist, and there's that first elimination I've been waiting to see with the swift kick there to Tico, taking him down. Also still has the Dragon Fury ready to rock and roll. Iron Fist punching, going crazy, forcing Smash towards the Goddess of Death. Look at him just take her head on with punches into a gunfight. You love to see it.
Hey, Fist versus Gun 2 wins right now. It's looking a little bit dicey. Really nice readaptation for Smash to get this angle onto the rest of FlyQuest 2. Meteor M is going to come down, hits the wall, not able to get the snipe out onto Sheer, and now Smash can go ahead and make mincemeat of these health bars. Look at Energy, he's the target right now on the side. If he can pick up the strategist, Smash will make the difference, but Light has found him a little 1v1 action, but Smash needs to get back to the rest of the team. He's going to have to go Crow form and get back to this choke point. Although you had Tico utilize his Kraken impact, he wasn't able to get the resets now either, and the Meteor M is going to make the difference here. Cyber able to get one.
Here had the most clutch freeze I've seen. The clobbering time was coming out there from Spark Chief, got frozen shut, and was unable to connect what was going to be a big wombo combo. Smash going right to the point there with the Born Again, and Zelo's able to get everybody up, and they got a lot faster of a reset, but there's already time ticking. 50% for the Magnets.
The fact that he just got a mass res like that is actually so massive. Now they can get this repuff, but look at Smash. Smash is looking for the angle. He's looking to be sneaky. He wants to get some picks off, but look at Light. He found him. Gonna go right back to defensive posture, but is it gonna be enough? Nice bubble coming out to save him from Cyber. Able to realize where the potential was, and here comes the fate of both worlds. This is being used by FlyQuest. Some picks coming their way as well. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but onto the point goes Les Aimants, and they're trying to get the setup here. Light is still going. Tico got frozen, but here they go.
I wanted Gaston to show those ultimates we've been seeing from him. He got the connection there on Jabroi. Great stuff there. Tico trying to finish off Cooper Task, staying alive. Great job from Cooper. But Light taking the Mr. President approach and jumping in front of the bullets and getting eliminated himself there. Unfortunate. Now Cooper Tastic healing up the team, keeping people alive the best they can. 60% though, and there's just not a lot of relief coming. It's just consistent. It's staggering at this point. They've got to reset, relock, reload. This is going to be a tough uphill battle to go down one match.
It is just the first series in the best of 5, or at least first game of the best of 5, but it means a lot. This Les Aimants team has been dominant. They pushed 100 Thieves all the way to the brink, and now they're pushing FlyQuest to make some desperate actions happen. Back onto the back line, goes a couple 1-2 punches from Spark Chief, and those bodyguards of the multiverse are right back in action, but Smash setting things steady, setting things right. Now in the 1v1 against Light as well, but Light is all by himself, and Energy gets sniped down by Cyber as well, and things are starting to fall a little bit apart here for FlyQuest. They don't have the bodies, and that might just be it for this one.
Look at this Vanguard play here. Tremendous job. Right now, the Magneto to fear is Cyborg. Great all-together teamwork. And what I was afraid of, you know, having Smash there on the Hello without that direct answer to deal with them. I mean, you're just giving him the keys to the kingdom, and the kingdom's victor.
Yeah. And this is the first time we're seeing FlyQuest drop a match in their lower bracket. Obviously, they got knocked into the lower bracket there, but the first time we're seeing them lose a match since then, and to a team that has risen the ranks in all of our eyes, but also the community's eyes in Les Aimants. And this team just has something special going for them.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, we knew after watching them against 100 Thieves that they were going to be a force to you know, go up against, and FlyQuest is really getting put to the test on a match that could also just be the semifinals, right? Like these two teams both are elite in play. And I think we're going to see a little bit of a strategy shift up here slightly. Nice ban on the Star-Lord to keep Light at bay. Can't go dive in that situation. Domination. Match 1 goes to the Magnets. But hey, I got to say that Vanguard play was as good as we see. Both of them really didn't let up at all.
No, that was a lot of fun to watch. And honestly, when we had so much praise coming to the Vanguard front line of FlyQuest, it's cool to see Lizzie Molt come out and with their own kind of response there. I do like the things input into this series. And I think it does have a lot more to explore moving forward, especially if we're going to be seeing the likes of the convoy maps and things along those lines. But that is it for our first map of this best of 5. Liz Emolt come out with a 1-0 start. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the highlights of that last game. Welcome back, one and all, to the Marvel Rivals Championship Season 1. I'm Mazello, joined by Cozy, and man, FlyQuest were trying so hard, but it seems like the magnet pull is just too strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to say it. You know, the light wasn't exactly there, too. We know how good light is, and, you know, one final hit, Iron Fist, I know he wants to do better than that. So I'm expecting there to be some change up there. Listen, FlyQuest, kind of a household Marvel Rivals name at this point, right? These players, you know them. This is what I love about the MRC. Any team can come up and rise up to the occasion. We saw that happen last time, and guess what? All these teams get signed to orgs. And now we've got someone like the Magnets that no one really knew before going into this, and they're certainly making a name for themselves now.
And they came down to this lower bracket off of an incredible performance against 100 Thieves. Like there's no slouching that performance, and now to come in and show that level of cleanliness in the next series as well against a team as storied as FlyQuest, that gives you so much more to work with moving forward here for this squad, and a potential date in the future with 100 Thieves if they can take down their rivals at Sentinels in that upper bracket final. But now looking at what exactly worked, I know you highlighted Light earlier. The reason why we're maybe a little bit more introspective on this, guys, because we have literally seen him last weekend 1v9 carry games, and I want to see if FlyQuest can readapt their strategy in terms of their picks.
Yeah, they just need more pressure from the duelist side of things, because then that allows Gasklin to do what he does well, and I kind of saw some struggle there too, and I know that's not the play that they know they're capable of. We've seen them do much better than that. You know, on Magnet's side, we highlighted their strategist play, just how well, I mean, Skier, fantastic. Jabrori just is always seeming to be at the right place, right time, and they are just on lock with the ultimates and what they put together. But Smash is too good of a duelist to not have a constant threat, and the Iron Fist that was Light was unable to continue to be on him. So I'd look to see a change here.
Those sticks, they hit different, I guess. Man's sitting there on the controller, and you love to see it. Now we are into this second map of this best of 5, the second round, and we see that group ban yet again by FlyQuest, trying to take away the Chuckles comfort. On the other side, the Luna is banned away as well by Lizzie Molt.
Yeah, no Cooper-tastic, at least on Luna. He typically has flexed to a few roles. I've seen him play actually a bit of everything, so we'll look to see that continue.
The attack Luna.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, the save happens here from Light and Star-Lord. That's essential, and I'm glad that they were able to do that and simultaneously block the Hela. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, they're not going to go with that kind of long range. They have more of that up in front of your face setup. The ban of the Adam Warlock is going to be there, so no more Born Agains here, and we'll see if there is that differentiation in what these comps want to bring. I know I highlighted it last game. I did like the influx of the Thing in this matchup between these two teams. Looks like we might continue going down that route.
Yeah, and Chuckles is going to have a bit, you know, of a harder time here having the presence he had. Now with Light on Star-Lord, able to really just put a lot of pressure. You know, the Thing does a lot well, but damage is the answer to him, right? And so, you know, Iron Fist wasn't able to provide that as much. Star-Lord going to do great at that role. We're going into what should be a razor thin margin of error, as these teams are both great at what they do, and we are at none other than the Royal Palace to do so.
Got to get the royalties in here for both sides. But again, another domination map. I mean, if you think about how that first one went, FlyQuest are definitely on the back foot going into this one. But this is a team that has shown grit right after losing that round 2 matchup in the upper bracket and then making this undefeated run, having just lost their first game since being knocked down. This is a team that I expect to kind of recoup, refocus, and get right back into it. Because Les Aimants, they are looking for a clean sweep here.
I know Light Spider, since it's our tingling, he loves to play Spider-Man on these maps.
I want it, man. I want it.
We might get it in the courtyard, but the indoors, we saw what happened last time. The Spider was squashed, my friend. But Light, going in here, Star-Lord, we know how phenomenal of a player he can be, and it really ignites the rest of the team, gives them the light, if you will. As Skier here playing Invisible Woman, 70k games, we saw him healing 20k damage protection. Great at the job of Sue Storm as the first fight commencing here on the high ground.
Yeah, you got to try to knock down this setup here by FlyQuest. They got to go up in the sky right now as well. Try to get some of this level coverage going through, but you also have to start thinking about the point because FlyQuest are already on it and taking it. You're going to have to try to retake this side, but now the collapse from Les Aimants is coming down and they're going to collapse into this fight pit. That's what I love about this map. It just turns into a bare knuckle brawl in the bottom.
Yeah, great rotation there from FlyQuest, forcing them to push, but look at the Magnets able to end up taking what is going to be the point to start. So that was the initiative from FlyQuest, but then they got the last laugh as Magnets. Light here now just trying. No one's eliminated, so just great poke between, and that means a lot of ultimates coming early, starting with the amplifier from Zelos. Usually plays Adam. Now it's going to give that 40% boost, and this is going to be a brawl.
Yeah, it is. We got extra damage. We got all we need. Ultimate's coming up. Invisible Boundary is going to be there for Cooper-tastic as well. Energy on this Bucky, looking for the resets, but here comes Light with that Galactic Legend to try to get something going. Cypher going to scoop up all those bullets and dunk on him. KO coming through. A double for Cyber, and now Smash looking to even things up. Les Aimants, the magnetic pull is just too strong, and FlyQuest are dusted.
Nice job, Cyber. Very clean ultimate there that really gave that momentum difference, and that's what you want to see typically from Gaston. Expect that to come from his own. Again, first tap is usually the one that's going to be able to have the last laugh. Spark Chief, though, is going to have clobbering time to set up the team. Energy can go right to the Kraken impact. He's got to make this connection here to get things rolling for them.
One of the big key points, and there's the clobbering time. Is it going to be Yancy coming through as they try to get the Earthbound there to lock them down? Oh. They do. A KO coming through, and a double for Chuckles, and now they actually have this angle here. The Invisible Boundary will be falling here very shortly, but they're trying to refocus on the point because we're at 70% already down, and here comes the attempted reset, but it's not going to be there.
The clobbering time as the counter to the clobbering time to get, I mean, that was just, oh, Chuckles. Beautiful, man. I mean, great thing play there in general. And I mean, I thought that combo was set up perfectly from Spark Chief, but it was even better from Chuckles as they missed the Kraken impact. Energy was unable to get that snowball they were looking for here. And at this point, 92%, you almost just want to hold on to what you have and go to the next match. This is rough.
This is really tough, and this is really dominant from Les Aimants. Spark Chief decided to just throw his life in there, maybe get something with the overtime as FlyQuest are on the point. They bought themselves a little bit of time. They're going to steam in here, and now we got the Galactic Legend face-off 1v1. Is it going to be enough? And time has run out. Les Aimants, they'll go 1-0 up in this map too.
That was a dominant performance if I've ever seen one. I mean, every connection that needed to happen happened for the beautiful team that has been the up-and-comer of Magnets. Now, looking into what is going to be our early skirmish and fight, it's honestly pretty even. Cyborg, we saw what he was able to do with one of those meteors just a moment ago. It was devastating, and so at this point, you don't have a lot of comfort if you're FlyQuest in the defensive side of things.
And I'm trying to think what works for them here because you got Light back on the Star-Lord. It didn't work out technically. Energy not able to find some of the resets that maybe have come akin to him in these last fights. And we are starting to see that Les Aimants might just be that next level team.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to see, you know, I love the big names, but what I like more is the underdog story. And tell you what, they weren't underdogs for very long, especially when you play to the level that they're doing. Jabrori with the quick bubble pop to get things rolling, and he has played great Rocket. Honestly, I'm excited to see what he's going to do with Rocket come season 2 and all those
Dude,
stages.
right? 100% presence. I expect it now. We'll see if Jabrori will continue doing that, but I think Jabrori has been a saving grace for Lizzie Molt today, not only on the Rocket, but also on the Loki earlier. Now we're into the fight. We're looking at this second level fight to start it off. Spark Chief trying to take the left angle, but they're going to drop down. So FlyQuest going to have to fight this multi-level setup right now, as you have on the other side that bubble pop combo coming through, but it's not going to be just enough to get some lasting presence. Here's the auto damage coming through from Energy. He's the guy that now has the Kraken impact, maybe looking for some resets himself. Spark Chief is in there too, trying to get some of these right clicks. FlyQuest doing a good job of keeping presence, and here comes the clobbering time into the side of Lizzie Molt, but a beautiful invisible boundary is going to get them locked in and ready to go. Cyber not able to hit the dumps there, but still 5 present. And here comes the Sia device, and they're just taking Tico to town, and he's buying everything.
That went how FlyQuest exactly wanted the fight to go. Cyborg didn't open up with the Meteor, and it allowed everyone to build their ults back up. Great play from both Invisible Women, keeping the team up with the boundaries, and it just ended with one swift punch of the impact to really change things. But man, that was honestly FlyQuest's battle to take there. They ended up not being able to capitalize fully on it.
It feels a little rough there because now the retake is so darn difficult moving forward. They have Smash with that Galactic Legend ready to go to offset this presence, this push that FlyQuest are doing. They're onto the map. No, they're onto the point as well. Here comes the Sia devices, but it's a punch off between the Yanceys. He's trying to find a re-angle onto the back line here as the Galactic Legends are going to be KO'd from the ground. Energy able to get a quick double, maybe even looking for a triple now as well, trying to get the pull in, but he can't do it. The thing is taking so much up. Really good separation now, but it's still FlyQuest holding on to a thread.
Yeah, I mean, Energy just showing he's going to miss that infinite ammo because he's using every bit of it. Popping off like crazy with the pistol popping as he's now trying to pressure Chuckles there. Chuckles about to get the clobbering time. Gets instead Sparky's clobbering time coming out, and they capitalize, taking out Tico. That's a clutch kill there as now Chuckles has the lineup. Does the clobbering time of his own, but it was a little bit awkward, and there's no follow-up.
Yeah.
This is going to go to FlyQuest.
Oh, and Light's cooking up. He's about to get his ult back up a little bit ahead of Smash. Light's trying to chase down, and ends up getting the pickoff kill on a skier. And now at least taking down a couple eliminations on the strategist resets the potential for FlyQuest to try to re-push onto the site. But it is going to be this move from Lizzie Molt that's going to be super important. They've got a ton of time to work with. Looking at reservation from them.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a bit more patience on the ultimate play there. You know, just know when to pick the battles that you need to win, and right now it's comfortably in their position. Smash has that legendary. Gaskin not able to have the Meteor in. That's going to be the difference if they can get to the open. Beautiful play there, though. Tico taking out Gaskin. Who needs the Meteor in when you're not even in the fight? Tico now goes to get on board. Reset's happening. There goes the Meteor. Everything's coming out at once. Light just trying to get something for his team. Does get the pick on Jabrori, but it's coming too late.
Yeah. And now you got the BRB device from Light. He can come rejoin this fight as well. The invisible boundary by Kai, but nice little double coming out from Energy yet again. And he's just taking down the other side. FlyQuest, they're showing us a little bit of gumption here, and you love to see it. That's 2 defenses in a row.
Yeah, especially after just, coming out not the way that you've wanted to play so far. The response here has been great. They've got Energy to go with his Kraken impact. The youngest player in the sport right now for Rivals, doing just a fantastic job showing what you can do even as a young gun, as Smash now putting that pressure early on Light, not letting what Light does best, and that's getting in their face like we just saw from Super Gomez. But Skier here's got the difference in the boundary that's going to make a big impact potentially against Energy's Kraken.
Here we go, the double Kraken Slayer. Both those arms are pumping here, but you didn't end up getting that reset just yet. And now you do have Energy waiting to go forward. Does end up popping it now as well. The Sia device is down, and a lot of damage done. Tico gets 1 KO, and look at that spin to win combo over top of it. Massive lockdown right now from Lizzie Molt. I thought they would have magnets in their pockets at this point. FlyQuest are getting low, but they're still in this tussle. Energy is looking for something. He doesn't even have close close to his Kraken impact, but this pistol will do just enough work. Is it going to pull back onto Cyber? Cyber's gone.
Nice.
Now you have to re-engage for Spark Chief on the other side. A third defense. Is it possible? FlyQuest, they're on the verge of getting this one even.
Yeah, that's what the damage amplifier can provide, right? You don't even need much. You just need 40%, only 40% of damage boost. And now we got 1v1 on this Dom map. And that was a beautiful response from FlyQuest, really locking together. And that's what you want to see after, again, what has been a bit of a shaky performance to start. I mean, tremendous use of support ultimates there to keep the team afloat.
Yeah, Light having that step up that we wanted him to have, an influential backline access there as well, and just really good supportive play from the side of Cooper-tastic and Zelos as well. And this is the FlyQuest that I feel like had that run. You have that more comfort with the comp. I still think that Les Aimants have had some really good retakes of points, but they did just lose 3 attacks in a row. So try now to figure out what works in the combinations for them as they are close to the Cyber and Smash combo.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at it, I mean, right now, obviously, you always want to look at Magneto, and there's no Magneto over there for FlyQuest to block what is going to be a very rough legendary to deal with. This is where I thought maybe we'd see the Spider-Man. We don't, but Energy is a great duelist. He hasn't played the game I know he wants to right now. Made an impact on that last map, though, and he's looking to do so here in the courtyard.
Absolutely did. Trying to find that counter impact to Kiko, who has also had really good moments. Here comes that Galactic Legend into the Meteor M as well. Don't get the dunk, don't get the damage. Bodies still up for both sides.
How are they
so
alive?
a couple ultimates gone wide.
How are they alive, right? I mean, you just had a Meteor M and a Legendary, and somehow they had no eliminations from that, which is amazing from FlyQuest in terms of just being able to stay alive now. And then in response, they've got this Kraken impact here with no defense to put up with it unless Skier gets, yep, there's the invisible boundary for a little bit of something.
Yeah, they're going to try to buy a little bit of time here. Kraken impact did go in. Gastelum gets pushed out on this Strange, as now you actually have a push coming through for Les Aimants on this long way through the invisible boundary. Now FlyQuest trying to re-push the point through it though, and they have some really good shielding, but Cyber gets the KO, and he's just in the backline right now. Magneto, they go so well together, and Cyber knows it.
Yeah, Cyber is really playing a great game here, even better than what we saw against the 100 Team Task, and there's the ultimate I've been waiting to see from him with the 3-piece now, but Cyber with the answer. And again, we've saw him play great, but I'm telling you, Cyber, this is probably the best performance we've seen from him today. The left, right, left on Magneto to eliminate Energy and essentially in the fight.
I love it because you're getting some of that duelist nature coming through for the Magneto here. If they're going to give you the angles, you take it 10 times out of 10, and he's done a really good job of realizing that. Now FlyQuest on this retake, we're over 50% of the way there, Cozy.
Yeah, and listen, they play triple Vanguard, so he's used to playing a little bit of that duelist role, but he's playing it to the best of his ability right now, as now Spark Chief trying to keep his team into the fight. They've got plenty. The Legendary not getting the impact you want. It does get the ultimate out from the Invisible Woman. Shuckle, though, Clobber in time. Look out for it.
Ready.
He's pretty much perfect right here, and he lands. He's going in.
They're trying to get it to get 1 KO now as well. Now it's Tico trying to get to his Kraken impact, but it's going to be the reset of the fight in the middle of it all. Nice pushback. Here comes the Sea Device and both Kraken impact. Here we go. This is the fun that Monkey can bring. He's going to pop it too, so both of them have gone through. Energy not able to get his reset. Tico not able to get his, and now it's just a pistol off, and Energy wins. This is a nice push from FlyQuest, trying to reset the mantle, trying to get this point. We're at 99 in overtime for Les Aimants, but FlyQuest will stave the darkness.
I mean, this would be an improbable matchup to win for FlyQuest, and they just might do it because they do have an Eye of Agamotto. Gaston has to have this perfectly hit if they don't want to go down 2-0 in this match. 2-0 in the facing elimination. You don't want to be there, FlyQuest. They know they've been here before. They cannot get out of this tournament. They're too good.
They're too good, and to be in the lower bracket in the first place is tough. Eye of Agamotto is going to be used onto that line. FlyQuest still with somebody. Skier is down, and he was about to have ultimate as well. Re-center onto this point for FlyQuest as they're going to deny that initial push here as well. And they're about to have a couple ultimates up on both sides. There goes the Galactic Legend as well, almost being there for Smash and being used by Light as they get a KO over for Energy. That young gun, like you were talking about, making his presence felt for this FlyQuest team.
Yeah, they made that look easy. From the Agamotto from Gaston, that was such great just body control with Doctor Strange. And the damage mitigation going to the Legendary from Star-Lord is something that you don't see often here, but the thing is great against shield tanks, and he shows it right there. Chuckles with the 1-2 punch.
This is tough.
Into down, and Sparkkeep here is going to go down too.
You can't go down here as FlyQuest. You have to stay up on your toes, because once it goes back over, yeah, we're already in overtime, and they realize desperation is afoot. This is moving up to 2-0 potentially in this best of 5, and a clobber in time. It's gonna be Anti Street all day here as the Venom makes no difference. Lizzie Molt will go up to match point.
Truly making it a no-fly zone, the Magnets did, and my goodness, what a way to open up the lower brackets. They used to be in winners. They're up there at the top. They're going down to the bottom, picking FlyQuest 2-0. What a statement win, and this is going to be a tough reverse sweep to do if you're FlyQuest. You got to relock, reload, and re-strategize as we're going to be heading into match 3.
Chuckles getting the MVP, his group banned away from him for the first 2 maps, still coming up clutch on the Thing. I just talked about the Thing's influence into this series, and we're definitely seeing it pay off with that space you can garner, but just a powerful performance from Lizzie Mullen. Even if FlyQuest are getting pushed, at least getting pushed back in their favor with these last second dives and things along those lines, it is still a stalwart defense time and time again from Lizzie Molt, and that's why we called them terrifying to see in the lower bracket.
Yeah, they were winning the fights, but almost at the wrong time, right? Because they would end up winning when it was a little bit too late. I mean, like I said, they go 99% and flip that. It's just a tall task. And they did great at the very beginning. That Agamotto into the beautiful damage mitigation with that Legendary was something to see. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, it's been awesome, the Thing play that we have seen out there from both of them. But guys, let's relive it and check out the highlights.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Marvel Rivals Championship Season 1. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Cozy, and man, Lizzie Molt have FlyQuest of all teams backs against the wall in the lower bracket after not losing a single round in this lower bracket run since they got knocked down. And Lizzie Molt just looked good, Cozy.
Yeah, listen, I didn't think we'd ever see 100 Thieves up against the wall there and about to go to the lower bracket. And I also didn't think we'd see FlyQuest down 0-2. I mean, so at this point, it's the Magnets that have been that difference maker, right? And they have found the equation to put up such a great fight against them. What have you been seeing as some of the big key differences?
I think we have to talk about Chuckles in that last one, obviously having a massive performance on the Thing, but I think it's a holistic performance from Lizzie Molt, and that's what we were praising them for in that 100 Thieves matchup, in that series itself. Is it wasn't just one person carrying the whole thing. It was a ton of effort from a lot of people. And I know we came into this one saying, you know, Spark Chief and Gaston, these two major Vanguard players, but Chuckles and Cyber are giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, no, I mean, the ultimate usage of both has been near perfection. And it's Zelos is one of the better Adam Warlocks that I've seen. Obviously, they addressed that pretty quickly. They got rid of the Star-Lord, and then at that point, or they kept the Star-Lord, but at this point, they lost the Atom. So it's like, all right, Iron Fist, but then you have Zealous on what he's not comfortable with at times. So the strategist plays at such a top level for Magnets, and you have to match that perfectly. And I know Cooper-tastic, it can easily rise up to it. Zealous as well, great players. But the Duelist, what do you see here with Light now and Energy? I feel like Energy played well. It's been tough.
Yeah, Energy, he's been looking good. I mean, we talked about the young gunslinger. I gotta say for Light, though, at least for the side of things that we've seen this guy reach the highs that we've seen him play, and you know, some of those performances we've seen be literal carry performances for FlyQuest through Light hasn't been the same today on an important day for them, on an elimination day for them. You need a guy like Light to bring that presence, bring that pressure. So we're definitely putting a little bit of introspection on a singular player for FlyQuest, but it's because we've seen him hit those high highs.
Absolutely, and the hardest person on him is himself. Like, I know how much he holds himself high to come up to this moment. Great players rise up to the occasion. We could get a reverse sweep. We've seen it before. Does the Magnet still have it in him? We're going to find out right now in match 3 at Yggdrasil's Path. Convoy. Now, last time we saw this, Mazel, was the electric defense from Magnets against 100 Thieves here.
And that was the most intense, crazy match, I feel like, that we got to start off the day as well. But in terms of what we're going to see changing up in this potentially last game of this series, but Les Aimants want to try to get that sweep going, is an adaptation of picks and bans. I mean, the Namor does end up coming through here first as that ban. We are going to that convoy setup here, and the Wolverine going to be a likely addition to that candidate, but the protects are where I'm looking at now.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a lot of invisible women's protects from Magnets whenever they were going up against 100 Thieves, especially on this map. I'm gonna be curious. The Namor pick for that first ban is definitely, throwing down a statement there. I know Smash is very comfortable on just having the Hela, and it comes down to the wire, and they end up getting that Bucky Barnes protection.
Yeah, hey, why not go ahead and get the reset potential there? We've been seeing Tico go a little wild on that one as well, but trying to find now what this Adam Warlock protect is going to bring over for FlyQuest, maybe going back to a tried and true composition that feels comfortable for them.
Yeah, Zelos, again, as I've highlighted, I think he's just a tremendous Adam player, and that's what they want him on. Star-Lord's going to be banned here to shut down Light in the triple res comp in one swoop. And so with group ban, I would actually say FlyQuest got exactly what they were looking for here. I'd be shocked if this wasn't Star-Lord, maybe Mantis, but they're going to look to shut down. What is that comp? Wow, they're going to give him. You know what? They're going to give him the keys to the triple res, and I love the confidence.
The biggest difference becomes if both teams want to go the triple res, because I feel like it's a little unfair for one side to have it, but we might actually get that differentiation.
Yeah, we haven't seen that from Magnets. They like their triple Vanguard instead, and that's what we're seeing. And honestly, triple Vanguard could do just fine against this comp because they have so much staying power. And Tico, listen here, the teams that kind of have some fun, they usually do it on the offensive side of things. We're seeing potentially a pity park.
No,
okay.
No. We're getting paid. We're gonna. It's so funny because we were literally talking about it in one of the breaks that we kind of want to see Penny Parker back.
Yeah, right.
But not gonna happen this time around. But as we get set up for this one, it is gonna be the defensive posture from Les Aimants. Smash on this Bucky is gonna be massive, but it is that tried and true triple Vanguard composition for them that they've used so well.
Yeah, without question. And it's been really cool to see. I know FlyQuest really prides himself on being flexible with their picks and their compositions. I would say Magnets, obviously, they seem to prefer this Vanguard play, but I don't know about you, Mazel, but they have definitely been very flexible in the team comps and what they're comfortable with.
They have been, and I think that's powerful, especially in this meta right now. Like, if you can throw in a couple things and maybe throw a loop or a wrench into the works of the enemy, it would be really nice. Now we get this early aggression here from Les Aimants. They're pushing up heavy with this triple Vanguard composition and immediately just going into the meatball soup right now. You see Tico is going to take that bit of a duelist stance, trying to get as much damage down with this AoE that the Magneto brings to the table. Sparksheet trying to dance in between the front and back line. This is a wonderful defensive spot from Les Aimants.
Yeah, they know they have like 9 lives with the passives, and they're like, you know what? Use them all. Let's get them out early, and they're doing just that, taking out Cooper Task immediately as well. And not only that, they're able to be building up these very clutch ultimates. I mean, Skier already has the boundary ready for the first fight. That's insane. Look at where they're at in FlyQuest. They're now having to adjust, and it looks like they're going to an Iron Man Gamma comp.
We're just going to swap it immediately. These swaps have been very important, especially for Les Aimants in their last series, but FlyQuest trying to give them a taste of their own medicine. Here comes that Gamma Ray as well, trying to get the chunk down onto these Vanguards. That health percentage is going to go down very quickly, but Cyber and Co, they're still in it here. We got a couple CC chained there as well. Cooper-tastic and Energy for FlyQuest going to have their ultimates very soon, but Les Aimants, they have 5 out of 6 of them and almost on their 6th. They are buying all this time, Cozy.
The energy popping now, and what amazing patience from, what amazing patience from Magnets, not using any ultimates there, and then energy was the first to serve, and they still kept most of their stuff up, able to get the eliminations needed, and this right now is just dang disrespectful how well they're playing against FlyQuest.
You got some swap. I mean, there's some desperation being spelled on FlyQuest side. They just got to find some kind of duelist that works here. Energy going to go for the Hela, but as you said, Cyber, Jabori, and Smash, they still have their ultimates. Look at this, though. Energy with a flank. Maybe this is the straw that breaks the camel's back here. Maybe find that angle. Is it going to be enough? Can he get the instant kill or at least instant takedown onto it? But he doesn't. He goes with the crow up into the sky. And now you have that re-engage by Smash to take down one as well. And he's going to use that Kraken Impact reset here to maybe pick up a couple more KOs. He's looking on the back line. Gets a double two. Maybe even looking for a triple. But Invisible Woman is just a little sneaky. Now Light, we wanted him to step up. And he is burning them to a crisp with Gamma Energy.
Look at, I mean, the patience of play here. I mean, he had the ultimate for Iron Man, and obviously they got this space they needed. He goes right back over to Star-Lord. Love to see that. They're going to go and try to get comfortable. It looks like he's going potentially... Okay, they're going to go in the portal here, but that was an interesting play to get that space with the Gamma Charge, Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just utilizing that extra space, but also the way that Les Immortels were playing, just right up there in the gate. But now it's this corner push that matters so much. Smash not even close to his ultimate. Jabori's going to have his. We're going to wait at least for Les Immortels to have more multitudes of their ultimates back up, but they're still trying to push here. FlyQuest going to get pulled out by Zelos, or at least Zelos goes down by the pull out by Smash. And now resetting into this, they're down a body. They have to back away.
Wow. I mean, right now, this play has been near perfection there from the Magnus outside of one team fight. Cyber now getting that close in on Spark Chief, and there's just everybody has their ultimates ready to go, but the patience is insane as Smash just gets the claw of the match.
And this is not a team that easily gets picked apart. I mean, we've seen them go the distance with 100 Thieves in terms of FlyQuest, but Les Immortels, they just have the difference makers, and it's a team-wide effort. That's the biggest thing we've seen today from this squad, is against 100 Thieves, it was a team-wide effort, and now on the verge of potentially having this quick last game here over FlyQuest. Energy needs to make something happen.
Energy's on the other side of the map right now, and he's just not in that 65 fight. I mean, we saw it once against 100 Thieves, but right now it's looking like what they do best is defense on this map. Energy getting a nice little pick there on Skier, but this could be a little bit too late. I mean, the teams aren't going down now. He is going to get this pick there on Smash. This could be the last hope of desperation. Energy is going to try to put things in his own hands.
We got overtime here at Energy. That young gunslinger you talked about just went on the flank of a century here in the multiverse. And this is a push from FlyQuest to try to get some more time on the board. But the reset is going to be there for Les Immortels coming out here. This push might just be enough to give them some breathing room.
Yeah, here comes the most likely portal, but they also have time to reset here. No portal coming in hot. They're all coming in together. There it is. And this could be the last fight to determine the hope for FlyQuest.
They gotta live in this bracket. They gotta do something here, and they got to make Les Immortels pay. They try to get a couple of Les Immortels. They're losing to everybody, and that's a full clean ace by FlyQuest. When they need to rise to the occasion, they stand there and salute.
I mean, right now, I got to say, Magnus are the defense goats on this map. You're escorting goats. They're the goats here on holding those goats. And listen, FlyQuest, great job there. Not giving up, an Energy putting clutch in the jeans there. The ice in the veins, as we like to say, and really making this fight even get to this point.
Really good setup from them. Now we have to take a look and stock of what's going on here. Gastelum gonna have his Eye of Agamotto soon. Chuckle maybe with a massive setup here as well. You can see that backline access for both teams. This push being stalled right now. Chuckles over on the other side waiting for a massive clobber third time, as maybe they can try to get that, but the counter for Spark Chief is going to be there, so he's just buying time right now, trying to get some of these ultimates up while Smash is getting an angle here. It's him versus Energy now in this 1v1 setup, and now here comes the Eye of Agamotto on the multi-members as well. They try to get the push on the left side, but beautiful defense from Les Immortels. Now Smash is taking one, but he's in a 1v1 there against the other side, and Spark Chief reset from FlyQuest, and that's going to be a beautiful defense and buying of time from Les Immortels.
They didn't even need to use ultimate. Skier just got the push away of a lifetime. Gaston going into the Agamotto. They pushed him away. There was nothing more that he could have done. And that's why Dr. Strange suffers so much right now in this meta, is that Invisible Woman is the answer to a lot of it. And at this point, they're having to just have fun here with the ultimates that they have left. Meteor going down, going to be not even blocked. Energy going down.
That's really tough to see, and they are just being eviscerated now. You've lost your entirety of your front line from FlyQuest. You've got 50 seconds to push, and you need to make a mark here, because that defense is not going to be easy against this Les Immortels team. They have the Kraken Impact available for Tico, and they have everything at their arsenal.
Yeah, listen, 2-0, back against the wall, FlyQuest, this is it. And you know, cooperative time into Kraken Impact is about to hit him right in the face here. They got to be ready for this. Cooper Taskic has the ult to get a little counterplay, and then they also have their own cooperative time into Kraken. It's going to be who pulls this off better.
I want to see the double invisible boundary here come through for either side, really. And Cooper Cass is going to let his unleash. Here comes the Kraken Impact getting one, getting the reset now as well as the pull. It's Light versus Tico in the thick of things. It is Winter Soldier versus Winter Soldier. And I don't need no Spider-Man names here. Cooper Tastic trying to get some healing down, but that invisible boundary is going to separate so nicely. Energy waiting, buying his time, trying to make that difference. But the overtime clock has started ticking. Energy going to get brought down, but takes down Tico as he goes, and another KO coming to the young gun, and that's a push coming through for FlyQuest.
And look for Chuckle to get his ultimate back, because it looked like he was interrupted during the clobbering time, and so the better FlyQuest got the better combo out there. They did use the Kraken Impact, but they're going to have a little bit left in the tank, which is exactly what they need, because FlyQuest right now has to be glued to this payload if they want to get at least a 2-point push, which they're going to need against this great team, but smash with the elimination.
They already take down Light, and he needed to get some ultimate stacking going, and immediately traded right back. Energy takes him down. FlyQuest with another flank from this guy. These have been insane.
What a mark there on Energy, because Energy was about to get that whole team's backline, but they noticed him at the right moment. They're in this house right now. Look at, there's 4 meters left to go, throwing everything they have at it. They've got the clobber time and the meteor. This could be it for FlyQuest.
This could be the Goddess of Death is up there in her tower, looking at the picks here. Energy with the angles. They got to get on the point. The overtime is starting to take it. Smash takes down Energy. Now has the angle over onto Light, who is on this Doctor Strange. This point is so contested, but they've got this smidgen of health, smidgen of time to work with. Big blocks coming through as well from Light, trying to buy time for the rest of FlyQuest. This is it. They can try to get this last push going in. They're trying to get as much pressure as they can, but we have ultimates available for the side of Lizimo. Look at Tico. He's going to switch over to the Psylocke, try to get back into this fight as quickly as possible. 1 KO, looking at more, and it's Lizimo trying to put on the defense of a century here. Smash takes them down, and that'll be a defense that FlyQuest is begging to find.
And Gaslit just getting the meteor barely, but unfortunately getting eliminated. Both strategies perfect with the boundary, but they did not have the follow-up needed. Energy is playing great, too, to keep this team's momentum, but it's not enough to get through Magnets. Again, if you're just now coming in, Smash controller hella player playing lights out throughout this tournament. What we've seen today, this has been, honestly, just such a dominant performance from Magnets so far.
Yeah, it's been a massive come up, even after losing in that upper bracket, now coming into the lower bracket. They have been domineering of this one. And you have to think here, like FlyQuest, their lives of the Marvel Rivals Championship Season 1 is on the line in this particular map, right? You have one more win needed by Lizimo to go into that next round in the lower bracket. And for a team like FlyQuest to come all this way and to get clean sweeps, that is not the FlyQuest that I know.
No, definitely. And they know that too. And listen, this team, they run on waves. I've seen them struggle before, and then they come back fighting with everything they have. They're going to have to give it all right here for a defense of a lifetime, if we're being honest. And right now, it seems like Magnets, they're just so comfortable. And I would be too. You're up 2-0. You're up on a great defensive match. Really, you got nothing to lose here. Let go, have fun. And they're having fun as they're showing a dominant performance. A team that has come out of nowhere. Fazell.
Out of nowhere, but right into the hearts and homes of the Marvel Rivals community here. Lizimo have made that stand, made that name, and now they're looking to push FlyQuest down to that 5th, 6th finish in the Season 1 Marvel Rivals Championship. This push around the corner, I mean, this is so good for Lizimo. They're going to have so much time over here, Cozy.
Look at the space that they're able to get immediately. I mean, we saw the Magnets were just up in this spawn for FlyQuest, and on the inverse, this is just right up in their home front already. Chuckle's just going right in there, and he's able to get that space and separation that you want from your Vanguards in early play. At this point right now, it feels like all of that momentum is starting to shine even more so for the Magnets.
They're already almost halfway there to that point. Okay, we're going to finally have some ultimate abilities coming up for both sides, but honestly, we're starting to feel a little bit Lizzie Molt favored at this point. We're waiting for those big Vanguard ults in this 1v1 beside this extra edge on the fight. Smash versus Energy and try to get them down. The 1v1 goes the way of Smash. That's massive. But now the Kraken Impact will tee things up on the other side. Big pick onto the side. And now that's already Cooper-tastic gone. Smash pushed into the wave, but that's going to be the invisible boundary making the difference. And FlyQuest, they've been dusted. Is this it?
This is rough, and they use Clobber in time as a last-minute defense. Smash and Energy, it's really who can get the pick there, and it is so close on who is going to end up getting the elimination, and Smash just escape from the other side each time here. Now we're going to have to reset, and right now the momentum, the combos is looking in favor of Magnets. You do have some support ultimates, but you look for that Clobber in time. It's about to happen.
See if they can get an angle for it here as well. I'm looking at Skier to keep this going. It's going to be far from that invisible boundary as well, but more so, this damage for Smash is so difficult to deal with here. There's the little setup by Chuckles, waiting for that Clobber in time. Look at the angle coming through from Energy. He's about to have the Goddess of Death, but Smash trying to go in. Smash gets one, and now they're pushing around the corner. This is the final gasp effort for FlyQuest. If they lose this point, it is all over. It is looking like Lazy Molt. They're using the magnets to collect the Infinity Stones. A big name Oryx coming through here, and they want more. Gasland with one last dash effort gets the KO onto them, gets a little bit of the resets, but the push is still coming. The push is still going, and Smash is truly the Goddess of Death.
Underdogs no more, as they are just handling the grand final, the second place MRI champions here, as we are going into the last fight, the last desperation of FlyQuest. Dragon Impact goes up, it lands down, and it's just going to be the Smash and Tico show as we've seen it once before. We've said it once, the new pantheon of God of Death and the Goddess of Death, and we're seeing it right here.
They got the portal, but it does not matter. A quadra elimination from Tico, making a pentakill. And this guy has been popping off, and so is Lazy Molt. Down goes FlyQuest, eliminated by the Magnets.
Wow, I did not have a 3-0 on my bingo card of the MRC,
all,
my friend. And Magnets has just completely ruined the brackets that people have put together in their minds. FlyQuest is now out for 5th, 6th place. Great job, from them in this tournament. Unfortunate, hit the lower brackets early, did a great job fighting through it, but ran into what right now is a big villain in Magnets. And the underdog at that, my friend, that was quite the matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, it's leaping off of that performance against 100 Thieves. This Lazy Molt team has just risen the ranks in priority of who can take that championship here in Season 1. And it truly was off the back of Tico. Obviously got massive MVP performance there. But after looking at all the list of these Winter Soldiers that we have in this tournament, but not only that, who we're covering today, and to have Tico rise through the ranks in that one, it's got to feel good.
Yeah, and again, I feel like the strategist plays is as peak as you get between these two teams. Smash, and you guys know if you watch the MRI, Energy is one of the best Hellas that we have. Easily went toe-to-toe with Delina. Energy was even struggling against Smash. Smash is a controller player. We gas up TTK all the time of playing at the high level with controller. The duelist role is even harder to do so than a Vanguard. I mean, it's crazy that he's able to have such accuracy and pinpoint shots.
And the fact that it is a 3-0 over a legendary team like FlyQuest, not only that, but then being able to push 100 Thieves that full distance. And that does mean the story of Lazy Molt stays alive and well in that lower bracket. That is it. We're going to take a look at the highlights of this series itself and Lazy Molt's victory.